Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via. It's August 31st, the last class in August of 2021. We're going to do wrists today. We're going to start, I think I'm going to have us do the static back for 7 minutes. So everybody find something to put their knees up onto. And I'm going to start timing. And I'm going to climb up on the yoga table and join you. So we're going to be here for 7 minutes. And you want to have your knees at 90 degrees approximately, and your hips also. And just know this is a way to release the hip flexors. So make sure you feel that there's enough of a 90 degree angle at the hips. So Kathy, you might want to move your knees a little forward or your hips a little so that you can really feel a release at the psoas. And your hands can be wherever. And I'm going to go ahead and start timing. Stay here right where you are and slowly turn your head to the right and then to the left 6 times, just right and left. And now come back to center. Don't move anything else but your eyes. We're going to do vagus nerve reset. You may want to put your hands up behind your head, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is to just make sure that you're not moving anything but your eyeballs, and shift your eyeballs to the right. And wait for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. And then shift your eyeballs to the left and wait for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. And do that 2 more times without my cueing. And when you've finished, we're going to do head ramping before we come up to a floor seated position. So head ramping, you can put your balls behind your head, a sponge ball, a set of therapy balls, or your hands, and just press the occipital ridge, the base of the skull in the back, towards the floor. Press, and allow the skull to slide up away from the shoulders. And hold, and then release, and do it again 5 more times. Head ramping. And now, whenever you're ready, find your way up to a floor-seated position with your neural balls and your therapy balls nearby. And also you're going to need a piece of paper. The first thing we're going to do is the 6-point release of the hands with the neural balls. You're going to need a half mound, the half mound of the ball. Kathy's setting hers up. She's going to do hers on bricks. And you can do that too. If you're, whatever's comfortable. So the first point is right at the top, up higher than that a little, Kathy, in the middle at the top. It's not right in the middle. And then, so put the ball there. You can do both sides at once. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to time, we're going to time for 40 seconds. I haven't started yet though. So you're getting a bonus here. Okay. Point number 1, just pressing. Down and breathing, and try to relax your shoulders. My tendency is to hunch, to shrug, but try to relax the shoulders. It's not there. That's not where the action is. Okay, go to the center, smack dab in the center of your palm. And starting again, 40 seconds. Breathing, just enjoying this sensory stimulation of the nerve endings in the hand. There are even more nerve endings in the hand than the feet. Okay, the third position is below the second position, at the bottom of the palm. Position number 4 is on the outer side of the hand. You're going to find your own way to do it. I kind of slice the ball with my side of my hand, but you don't have to do that as long as you're pressing on the outside edge of your palm. inside edge of the palm. And then the last, well, let's do this while we're still here. Let's do the contraction. So now I want you to be on that specifically on the webbing at the webbing of the thumb and the finger, right at that web, and you're going to press down. And you're going to press down, compress, and then later 40 seconds of squeezing. So contracting. So now you're compressing right on that little web that's between the thumb and the forefinger. And just pressing down. It's a compression and then a contraction. And this is actually lifted. This specificity here is lifted from Jill Miller's hand series. And now stay there and squeeze. You might want to pick the ball up in your hands or the half ball. I'm not sure, but what I want you to do is squeeze or contract there.
Hola.
Hola.
Buenos días.
Buen día.
¿Qué Anderson?
Sí. Hold on. Well, I don't know how the delivery guy got in the building. Someone let him in, I guess. I'm not good. And then he wouldn't let me not answer the door. Okay. Now we did that. Okay, let me look at my list here. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is floor-seated side bend. So you could recross your legs. I'm very fond of these, as you may know, but I'm also just fond of you getting a side bend in. So, if you're doing your own home practice, there are I should actually show you, not the next time we're standing, maybe not in this class, I'll show you a standing side bend. There are other side bends, but it's really good to get a side bend in. All right, now let's just slide your right arm up along the floor. Opposite arm up and over, if you can, for those of you who can. And stay here and breathe. Oops, I forgot to do the other, we won't do it on this side either, just to be even. So switch, come up, switch sides. Left arm along the floor, right arm up and over. We're not going to do the second part of this because I didn't do it in the first one. That's how resilient I am.
Well, flexibility.
Flexibility, it is called flexibility. So you notice without my arm, I can still get a good side bend. So the arms are not really critical here. They help, but they're not critical. Come back up. We're going to spine twist to the right. Put your left hand on your right knee, put your right arm behind you. Find some sort of a spinal rotation and keep it. And then while you're here, if you'd like, you can add, as long as you're not involving your shoulders, a rib cage slide. And come all the way back. And go to the other side. Right hand, left knee, left hand behind you, spider fingers. And once again, the arms are not the important thing. Susie Haley teaches a spinal rotation where you don't move anything but the spine. In fact, the arms can get in the way if you're focusing on them. Remember the rib cage slide if you like it. Okay, come on back. And the next thing we're going to do is a stacked knee wrist twist. Remember, today we're focusing on wrists. So sit with your knees stacked. You may want to sit on a brick. One knee in front on top of the other. Bring your arms out in front of you. I won't be able to do this one. And then take your right arm hand up and over so you can clasp your fingers and then just start to move them down in front of you. Clasp. This is the wrist twist. Toward the belly, toward the chin, all the way up. And still standing tall, sitting standing tall. And wrist twists with stacked knees. So we have a little bit of a hip opener. Even when I say we're doing upper body, always we have a little bit of a lower body and vice versa. The main reason we always have hips is because of the floor seated positions. And come out of that slowly and go to the other side. Stack your knees again, restack your knees. Take your hands out in front of you. Left hand comes up, over, clasp, roll down towards the knees, towards the belly, towards the chin. Wrist twist, stand, sit tall. Relax your shoulders and breathe. Okay. The next one we're going to do is, we did that, is, is is finger spreads. So you can find your favorite floor seated position. And Kathy, maybe you can demonstrate this. I can't demonstrate this. I can't even hardly even talk about it, I guess. No, I can. We're going to start with the right. I can talk about it. We're going to start with the right hand. Yeah, why don't you say it, Kathy? You tell her. Tell us
You
what.
want to go both ways on,
Oh, you can do both ways, but I mean, you can do all one way first and then all the other.
what we do is we take two fingers that are spread, and with the other hand, we try to push them together, resisting it.
And I can time for you.
Okay, we're gonna hold this. So the fingers stay apart, but you're trying to push them together with your other hand,
And we're going to time for 40.
40 seconds.
And just do as much of this as you can.
I do this when I'm watching TV.
So I think this is too long. I'm going to time for 30.
Okay,
You went 30 seconds is up. 30 seconds is up.
okay. Then we go with the next two fingers.
Okay.
So they're apart, we're trying to push them together. It's a struggle between pushing and pulling.
Resistance. This is resistance work. Okay.
Okay, now the next two fingers. These are my strongest fingers, of course, right-handed. And I can really feel that. And the thumb and forefinger. You don't have to hold your hand up like I do. I'm just trying to demonstrate.
Yeah, you can hit your hand can be anywhere.
Yeah, it can be down in your lap.
Okay.
Now we're going to go the other way. We're going to keep our fingers together and try to spread them. And the other hand is going to keep them from spreading. I'm going to start back with the pinky and the ring finger. So we try to pull them apart, but the other hand is preventing that. And the next two fingers, ring and
I'm going to have to go get a, to put the timer on, I have to go get a plug for my phone that's losing power.
uh-oh.
But I'll do that.
So yeah, you can do this when you're watching TV. You can do it when you're in traffic, as long as you're not driving. You're a passenger.
Okay.
Next two fingers together.
It's not going away.
right, and the last two, thumb and forefinger. All right.
And shake that hand. Shake it, shake it, shake it. And if you want to, you can shake it and raise it above your head. And then stop shaking it, keep your hand high and feel the energy in that. And then come on down and start on the other side.
Okay. So on the other side, we're gonna start with, excuse me, we're gonna start with the fingers apart, try to put them together. This side's weaker, so there's more struggle.
Unless you're left-handed, it might not be,
Unless you're left-handed, true.
maybe.
Weaker for me.
Well, it just sort of depends on what tools you use and who knows what else. Lots of, there could be other factors, but hand dominance is one of them. When I broke my humerus, my doctor, that's one of the things my doctor has me do is do these little, he presses and he has me resist.
Oh, really?
And I'm always feeling like, I think I'm probably stronger than most people. Even though he also wants to know if there was any damage, I think maybe along the arm, the hand,
Yeah, that could be.
as opposed to just the shoulder.
These are always the two strongest fingers for me.
Hmm. This make me crazy. I'll be back.
Boy, this is the day for interruptions.
Oh, you're way too early on the classes. Okay, come on now.
And the last one. Oh, excuse me. Oh, the last one is the thumb and forefinger.
This is a person who's going to borrow my power plate because I can't use it because of my broken bones. And I told her to come after class today. And now
Oh.
she's here. She makes me crazy. People don't listen. I said, come at 12:35.
And he's here now.
She's here now. That was my second interruption. And she's going to interrupt me in a minute again. Okay, so now just stop.
Well,
Well,
we have to do
We
the,
have to do the other. We have to do the other. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. It's a good thing you're leading this and not me.
well, you're getting all these distractions. So now we put them together and try to pull them apart. Okay, next two fingers.
Okay. So it's interesting because for me that I can do almost all of these things, not a few of the things I can't do, but
Mhm.
with my wrist, which is good.
Yeah. The more you can do, the better.
More I can do, the more I can do while I'm immobilized,
Right.
the better.
And then
I think one of the things that happens to a lot of people, but not me, is, you break your arm, your doctor says, go home, put it in a sling, they don't move it. They're just like, no, they can't move anything.
that happened to me. I injured my arm, my shoulder, and they put me in a sling and didn't say anything about physical therapy. And I got frozen shoulder. I couldn't raise it any higher than this at the
Right.
time.
It's crazy.
I had to ask about physical therapy. And now I have full use of it. But yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, and the last two.
And I do actually some isometric squeezes with my forearm, even my upper arm. Which I don't know. I mean, I think as long as I can think of my humerus as not moving, I think it's good. It's okay.
Yeah, as long as you're not making it worse.
Yeah. I think I would know if I were making it worse, actually.
You'd feel the pain, yeah.
I'd feel, well, I do, sometimes when I put it in the wrong position, I feel it.
Oh,
It complains. I accidentally put it in the wrong position. Okay, find your little piece of paper. You can wiggle your fingers, you can shake them, you can put them high. So next, the finger strengtheners with a piece of paper. Go ahead and lead this one, Kathy. All time.
all right. So what we do is we take the piece of paper and we put it between two fingers and try to pull the paper out, keeping the fingers clamped around the paper.
And it's not, don't pull the paper out, just try to pull it.
Try to.
Try to is the operative words. That's where the strength comes in.
I mean, I could easily pull the paper out, but no, the idea is to keep it in there and just kind of pull on it. Okay, and then between the next two fingers.
If you want to, Parvin, you can unmute and talk, or as it doesn't have to, it's a small class, obviously. It doesn't have to be just Kathy and me.
So we can chat.
We could chat with you, if you choose. Should have mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
To me, this is harder than holding it.
Or harder than the ones we just did.
Yeah,
It is harder in a way.
I want to pull the paper out.
You can feel the strength building that's happening.
Okay, and now these two.
again.
Okay, and the
Next.
thumb, forefinger.
Your thumb is the strongest.
Mhm.
Okay, other hands. You can shake that one and wiggle it.
Okay, now pinky and ring finger. And that's the weakest for me.
So I can feel that in this one, I can feel my left hand is weaker.
Yeah.
I think it's weaker anyway, but also because I'm not using it much, it's probably even weaker.
Oh, yeah, because that's the side you're injured on.
Yeah.
Even though I'm right-handed, I do a lot of things in my left side.
Oh, do you?
Seems like my left was stronger. Now I can pull it easy.
Maybe you're ambidextrous. Parvati. That means you can use either hand. I think Lily and Ginger are ambidextrous. They're left dominant, but they do
Yeah,
some things with their right.
yeah. It seems like with this kind of exercise, you can diagnose yourself.
Every exercise is both a movement and a diagnosis or an assessment.
I know.
Every single movement.
You set the timer?
Yeah.
Seems like we've been going a while on this.
Okay, go ahead and stop there. I didn't set the timer. And then start again.
Okay, ring finger and middle finger.
Mhm.
That was a bonus for that finger.
I get a lot of leg spasm at night.
At night?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Any movement I have to watch. So I don't sleep good because I keep thinking if I move my leg like this, it's going to spasm out.
Acid? Are you getting enough potassium, bananas?
I thought, yeah.
I don't like banana. I don't take banana, but I'm taking magnesium.
Well, you should take or find other things that have potassium in them. And
Yeah,
take.
lots of foods have potassium in them.
Yeah, I do a lot of.
I know I don't care for bananas either, but I eat them for that reason. My legs will cramp up at night.
They told me is magnesium is the one to give you the
Oh,
spasm.
really? Oh. There we go.
Next.
Forefinger and middle finger.
Okay.
And the last one is forefinger and thumb.
Mhm.
That's the strongest for me. Oh, you were talking about left-handers. I think left-handers do things with their right because it's a right-handed world.
I know, that's
My
right.
brother was left-handed, but he did certain things with his right because it was just easier for him.
Yeah.
And it used to be, you were forced to be right-handed, even if you were left-handed. I don't
Yeah.
think it happens as much anymore.
My mother had to go down and talk to his teacher and said, "You let him write with his left hand." She was trying to force him to do it. And my
Yeah,
mother-
all time they would do that.
There we go. Okay.
That's that. Good job, you guys. Now we're going to do a quadruped. Get ready for getting on your hands and knees. I'm not going to be able to do this one. But that's okay. Hands and knees. And then take your right hand and flip your fingers around. This is the wrist stretch. And you can play around with the placement of your wrist or your palm. Is it closer to your knees or is it farther away from your knees? And then go ahead and rock back and forth. And now stay here and do the same thing, but have your wrist high and work on your fingers. So you're on your fingers like spider fingers. So it's essentially the same thing, rocking back and forth, but really working on the fingers. Switch to the other side. And this time, starting with the palm, you could start with the fingers, spider fingers, or you can, it doesn't matter. You can start with one or the other. And now fingers. And now come up to standing. We're just going to do the standing back bend and spine twists before we go to the floor. Maybe we'll get to do both of those things. Maybe just the back bend. We'll see.
I have to set up. Give me a minute.
Maybe I should have thought about your setup. You might be more able to get your hands behind you on the floor, on the walls, because of all the wrist work we did today. Just try to notice if that's true. So you're standing with your back to the wall, with your feet, the front of your feet directly in front of the back of the feet. Hands, arms up and over. You're going to be here for 40 seconds. Maybe. Well, we'll see if you can get if there's more wrist flexibility available to you because of all the wrist work we did. So this is a movement and a diagnosis. And slowly come out of that. Come on back down to the floor for Yoga Nidra. We don't have time for the other. We already did side bend, side spine twists.
Yes, we did.
So we're covered. Although it never hurts to do them twice, but we're covered. Just find your way onto the floor. You could be with your legs up if you want, or your legs extended or knees bent. Just find something comfortable. I'm going to stop my video so I don't have to see myself reading my script. Just starting to notice your breath and watch your abdomen as it rises and falls with the gentle flow of your breath. Now bring your attention and your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes your 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and extend your legs and start to wiggle and stretch, arms overhead, legs along the mat. Right side, left side, stretch. And stretch. And wiggle your fingers and toes. And rotate your wrists and your ankles one direction. And then the other. Hug one knee to your chest, release your lower back. And then hug the opposite knee to your chest and squeeze. And now hug both knees to the chest. And rock from side to side. And whenever you're ready, roll all of the way over to one side. Bottom arm is a pillow. The top arm, go ahead, press your palm into the floor. Come up to a seated position. I'm going to remove the spotlight. Put it on gallery view. And start my video. Oops, there. Go ahead and put your hands into prayer position. I'm doing it a little bit. And go ahead and press. I'm not going to press. Press Press really hard, just so you can feel some of the shoulder work. Feel this, say hello to your scapula. And then soften that and lift your occipital ridge away from your shoulders so that you can round forward with the skull. Spine stays straight. Forward, bowing, nodding. Noticing and knowing that we are each a light. And that we are all one light. All of us. And then we'll close the class by saying to each other, namaste.
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 Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.